chug, 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 chug. What's up, boys? Oh, you're muted, Joe.
Oh, I drank too much already.
He's already drunk. He's already drunk. Uh, oh, it's Friday, so you do what you want. Do what you want. Emphasis on the I. Facts. So if you're brand new, not only this week, should be. I'm not making promises. We're video right now, but we'll be audio later.
Hitting them with the 1-2.
Yeah. No? Okay. Yeah. Joe just shadow boxed for the audio listeners.
I mean, I moved a centimeter.
Inch or mile, winning's winning. But yeah. So for our bad podcasting skills, I'm James. I'm with Joe. If you're watching on YouTube, he's next to me. If you're listening,
I'm Joe.
Yeah, if you're listening, you just gotta listen for the voices. Very distinct differences. Pretty easy to spot. Another
there's
week.
No way. We sound way too similar.
Probably another week without Jimothy. So we had a little upgrade, or not upgrade, but a little bit of change. Not upgrade. Upgrade was the wrong word. But for YouTube, we got a little logo up in the corner there. Looks something like this. I'm just going to post it on the screen. So, audio listeners, I'm sorry, this is not good podcasting for you, but it's a great graphic, so you should check it out.
The belly.
Joe's belly's hanging out. I'm flexing. We're both giving the stare down. Like Joe looks like the sun's too bright. Like it's beautiful. It's glorious.
I don't know what the heck that picture's from, but I love it.
It was when we originally took it, and I said, "Hey guys, send me a selfie," and I didn't tell you. I had no context whatsoever. I just said no smiling.
Oh yeah.
And I just did it. So that's my great photoshopping skills.
Right on. I love it.
Which I did in under a minute and a half for all three pictures when we originally did it. And this one, let's throw it back up there. You see the outline. So if you look on the screen, like you see, like you have a little like darkish blue outline, like the color of your pants.
Yeah.
And I also have like the color of the pants of the Cowboys around me. Look closely. So this one took me probably 5 minutes to do because I put a little bit more time and effort into it, but it's nice.
Point and click.
Yeah, it was very easy, but it was worth it. I can't focus. I got two screens on. I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at you, and I'm always looking at you. So I don't know what to look at. So which you do I look at?
But see, you judge me for when I'm looking at the screen, and now you having the same problem.
That's because like I wasn't in your shoes, and now I'm in your shoes. So I think we just got to move on. Emphasis on the I. One more time.
I got you, boo.
Emphasis on the I one more time. Some things happened in the last week and a half. One, you're still living, right? I know it's been hot, but you're still alive.
Oh my gosh, it's been hot.
It's been hot, yeah.
Welding too on top of it. It's not been fun. I don't enjoy the heat.
I was like 95 today. It didn't rain for once. So it was toasty here.
I do some sketchy things for some rain.
We could talk off air.
I do some sketchy things.
So some things happened. Players got paid, and players also got hurt, though too. So we can start with the contracts. I want to start with the biggest one for me. Trayvon Diggs got paid.
Yeah. What did it come out as like what the guarantees and everything were?
It did. I don't know it off the top of my head. so I'll have to bad podcasting and throw it in there. But I'll just say for here, I do think it's a very good deal. It's he's not obviously he's not the highest paid corner because he's not the best corner in the league. I do strongly believe he's a top 5 corner. He has improved immensely on his coverage skills. I know that was a downfall of his 2021 season with the 11 interceptions, but he allowed 1,500 yards, which he didn't, but that's fine.
And
it's something they had to do because that's a cornerstone position. It was a 5-year, $97 million contract extension.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's tacked on to his rookie contract. So
he's got what?
One more. This
one
is
more
last year. He was a 2nd-round pick, so he has a 4 year. So this is his 4th year.
Yeah.
So it's 5 years starting next year, $97 million.
That's hefty.
And the thing is that it's done very good. It's $19.4 million a year, which makes him the 5th highest. Just a random question for you, Joe. Do you think you can name the other 4 ahead of him? Here, I'll eliminate one name off your list. Marshawn Lattimore they're the same. They're equal at 5th. They're tied for 5th at 19.4 a year.
Okay. People
I would have been able to guess 3 looking at this list. I would have missed 1.
Well, is Byron Jones still technically getting paid, and would his contract have been more?
I think he retired.
Okay.
I think he officially retired. Or he's not on the roster. Either way.
I would think Jalen.
Uh-huh.
I would think Tre'Davious White.
Uh-uh.
Really? Has he not signed yet?
I don't think he has.
Plus,
he also has that injured year, so he has a.
Xavier Howard?
No.
Who would be up there in years?
Well, one of them's obvious.
Well, I thought Tre'Davious White was obvious.
Well, I think his injury year kind of hurt him. I'll pull up his contract to tell you what he's paid. If that'll maybe he's close.
Well, because I think Tre'Davious is making me think like other players haven't gotten paid yet. Like if he's still on his rookie deal, I think Jair's still on his rookie deal. I think Marlon's still on his rookie deal.
Well, you've named 2 of them.
Okay. So maybe Tre'Davious didn't get paid what I thought he got paid. So
Tre'Davious is $16.2 million a year.
Huh. Okay.
Which is a lot.
I mean, yeah, but I would have figured Tre'Davious would have been up there because I think he's got better man coverage skills than Jair, and Marlon's iffy for me at times.
Marlon's also kind of hit the injury bug as well, though, too.
Is it what's his name? Is it the corner that went to the Chargers last year?
No. J.C. Jackson?
Yeah.
No. These are
Stephon Gilmore?
No.
Really?
Maybe 4 years ago when he first got his contract. It goes up every year. So you just got to think about who's the most recent ones to get paid.
I have no idea.
If I told you the teams, you'd nail it.
Probably.
Well, one you should get.
Why should I get it?
He's been widely considered the best corner in the league that's gotten paid.
Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
I already said Jalen.
You said Jair and Marlon.
No, Jalen. Jalen, I said before I started guessing. Like before I said Tre'Davious White, I said Jalen.
Oh, well, then I missed that part. The other one's Browns. Denzel Ward.
Oh, that would make sense.
And he's tied with.
Because he was drafted the same year as Chubb. Chubb would have been up on his deal this year. Yep, makes sense.
Yeah. So, I think it's good that he has the first domino to fall. Now Dallas needs to take care of Zach Martin, who has not showed up training camp. He's holding out for that contract.
Yeah.
Did you know? I don't know the exact years, but I feel like it's a long time. It's been at least a decade. He's the first 99 overall lineman in Madden in like a decade.
No.
Like maybe it was just guard then.
He was a 99 overall last year, wasn't he?
No. I think he was like a 97, 98.
I feel like he's been a 99 before.
Maybe like in franchise mode, all your players are 99s and you're just.
But I know like Trent Williams was a 99. Like
Trent Williams has been a 98. Is the highest.
Is this like prior to roster updates?
Release of Madden.
Yeah, see, I don't pay attention to release of Madden.
Yeah,
like my knowledge goes like with the roster updates as to what they are. Generally. Because then I don't know, maybe Joe Thomas. The last shoe-in, 99.
Well, when he was a 99 would have been because he's already in the Hall of Fame, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's been retired for at least 5 years.
He's never not been a 99. He was a 99 the year he retired.
Joe, you have a boner for Joe Thomas. He was
Listen
not
here.
He literally had his arm in a freaking sling his last season.
Dude, I would still rather have him protecting anyone. Well, no, Trent Williams is that dude. Trent Williams is really freaking good.
Joe,
I think Trent Williams is better at tackle than Zach Martin is at guard.
Trent Williams is 99. Okay, Joe. Here's your Joe Thomas was a 97 overall in 2009, 2010, 2013, 2014, and 2017.
Yeah, sure.
He was a 95 in 12 and 16.
No, he was a 99.
He was a 98 in 15 and a 92 in 18.
No, he was a 99 in all of them. You're lying
to me. For the audio listeners, Joe's wearing an I Love Joe Thomas shirt. He's also experiencing some Joe biasy, and you should never trust a Joe.
Hey,
don't trust a Joe.
Hey. I adore that man.
You know how many people are going to come to the YouTube to see if you're wearing a Joe Thomas shirt, and they'll be like, he's not wearing a Joe Thomas shirt. He's wearing like a turquoise, bluish, greenish shirt.
I love Joe Thomas. I adore that man.
Yeah, he's skinny now.
I still adore that man.
Yeah.
I would trust him to protect me against aliens.
Would you trust him at his current state and weight to
against aliens? Against all of them. All of them.
Okay. Would you trust
the aliens?
him to...
I trust Joe Thomas alone.
Would you?
I don't need more. Just one Joe Thomas. That's all I need.
Just Joe's take over the world by killing all the aliens.
Just one Joe Thomas. I don't need more. Just give me one Joe Thomas. We're good. We're good.
You know, I think this is as good as time as any. We're stuck on Joe's. We might as well give Joe his everyone's favorite segment.
Oh no! Oh, stop!
I don't know what's going on.
Welcome. All right, so I'm gonna take this time to read you an obscure quote here, because we all know I don't know what to do on this, and this makes everybody smile a little bit. So I'm gonna read an obscure quote, and then I'm gonna ask Jimmy what the who said it. If you train hard, you'll not only be hard, you'll be hard to beat. Who said it? We don't know. Who said it, James?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
You didn't listen to my obscure quote? Do I have to say it again?
You were talking to a brick wall.
Oh, I'll say it again. I'll read it again.
No, I know what you said.
But it was fun.
If
you train hard, you'll not only be hard, you'll be hard to beat.
Did you do this to did you look up random quotes or did you look up random cowboy quotes?
I looked up obscure sports quotes and found one that I thought was hilarious and just selected it.
I think you did it after a candy bar who walks with a walker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good old Hershey Walker. Shout out Hershey Walker.
Good old Hershey.
Shout out Packy wherever you are.
Shout out. Shout out.
Packy land.
No, how many times it emphasized the word hard? I needed to say it.
Well, Herschel Walker was kind of a big deal. Like, you can't talk about the Cowboys without talking about Herschel Walker. He was the main focal piece of 3 Super Bowls, and he wasn't even on those teams. Greatest trade in NFL history. Shout out Vikings fans. Greatest one-sided trade for sure. Like that ended up getting Dallas Emmett, Russell Maryland, and Darren Woodson, 3 Hall of Famers.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then they got Herschel Walker back. That's the kicker. They got Herschel Walker back later.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And I hate that I'm going to do this argument, but if the Chiefs win 2 more, 1 trade will have brought them 4.
If.
Yeah, I hate to make the argument. I'm just saying.
Hey, if.
Yeah, I'm just saying, and I hate making this argument. I hate it.
It has to happen. It has to. So until said happens, becomes reality.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys is. That one is.
Also, though, there's a trade that I love looking at. It's what the Dolphins have turned Laramie Tunsil into. It is wild.
Yeah, it's like isn't it like 8 players at this point now?
Well, I mean, they got like Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips.
Didn't it end though with Tyreek Hill? Wasn't it the last part of it?
They had they drafted a middle linebacker last year, and that was the final.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's wild. But we're not a Miami podcast. We only talk about Miami basketball.
I was just going based off of funny trades.
Also,
there's a chance that we bring up another one soon because I don't see it in your banners here, but I kind of want to talk about it.
Well, you can add it to the banners, sure. But also, we only talked about Diggs getting paid. Herbie got paid all the monies. Joe is trying to figure out how to add banners. You just scroll to the bottom. There's a create a banner button. This is terrible podcasting. Anywho, Herbie got paid all of the monies. All of them.
I mean, it really wasn't that much more than like Deshaun Watson got.
Yeah, but he's now the highest paid player ever.
Yeah, but
until Burrow, which kind of ties into Saquon. He got paid, but he got a 1-year deal, so it's like nothing like.
Yeah.
Then they turn around and paid Andrew Thomas like 60-something million or something like that, or crap ton of money too.
Yeah.
But yeah, now Burrow's contract is coming up, and he was in some unfortunate news yesterday.
Yeah. There's a weird part of me that thinks Burrow's going to take less.
Like Brady, like technically Mahomes got paid, but now Mahomes is like
he's
7th highest paid. or 9th, maybe. Yeah, I was gonna say a top 10, but like he's like way down there because while his contract number itself was huge.
Well, that's the problem with signing a 10-year contract.
Yeah, but it was smart. It was really team friendly.
Yeah.
And
but Joe Burrow seems to really like his wide receivers, and I think they're dealing with already the ideas of maybe having to get rid of Higgins. So I could see a world in which he takes less to keep Higgins there. I just did. It makes sense to me. Now, no idea. Make that money. He could, but I don't know. There's a weird part of me that's thinking maybe he takes a little bit less. Not like 20 million a year. Like he's still gonna make 40.
Like 40 million a year.
Yeah. Like
what is
like
holy bucket.
Like if he gets paid 200 million for 5 years, that's like 60 less than Herbert. Right?
Yeah, I'm just looking at his number. Herbert's number now 262 for 5 years.
Yeah.
That's Joe. I would play any position on any team for any sport ever for that. They could just. It could be a sport. I've never heard of it.
I'd play any position in any sport for like $1 million, bro.
I'd do it for 1,000.
Honestly, probably same.
Yeah,
1,000 would be real nice.
it'd be gone real quick, but it'd be real nice.
Yeah.
I could see Burrow doing that. Or something similar to what Mahomes did. Well, just have a really long one where the caps are spread out so far.
Yeah, I also think. Okay, I'm gonna say some things that may sound mean, but it's not necessarily mean. Okay. Herbert does not get the endorsement deals because he's not as cool. Like,
I'm gonna cut out the part where you said you were not going to be mean, or that you were going to say things that are mean, and then now you're just gonna sound mean.
It's fine. He just doesn't have that aura about him, you know. I mean, but then again, Patty doesn't either. But we already have one Patty. We already have one kind of boring superstar quarterback that's getting paid. Now you have to be interesting.
But Patty's not really boring. Maybe off the field.
He's kind of boring off the field.
Yeah, maybe off the field. But
well, that's what I'm talking about. Is off the field boring. Like to get the endorsement deals, to get like State Farm, right?
Yeah.
Like if Allstate wants to run something against State Farm, the first person they're running to is Joe Burrow. Why? Because he's cool.
They might go after Baker because Baker has a lot of endorsements and he's not.
But that's the thing is Baker was
personality.
Cool. Yeah, Baker was cool. He just turns out not great in the NFL. But
hey, lasted longer than Johnny Manziel. So
yeah. Also, I still think he's a top 20 quarterback in the world. I think he's better than a lot of guys who have jobs right now. He's just been in poor situations.
There you have it. Bucks are winning the South.
Wouldn't put it past them. But they're going to go to Joe Burrow. They're going to go to Josh Allen. So, like, Josh Allen's dorky, but, like, at least he's funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's comedic with it at least.
Well, Herbert's kind of funny because he doesn't like to be on camera, which is odd. That also plays into it a lot too, because he kind of like even during like social media days or whatever, he'll be like walking by the cameras with his hand on his face.
Yeah, but like, is that funny or is that just like he doesn't want to be on the camera? I have no idea. He has no personality.
Probably a little bit of both. I mean, he played at Oregon. Like, did you develop personalities in Oregon?
James, it was rumored the Broncos were going to draft him. Okay. that they wanted him.
Was he not tall enough?
I couldn't figure anything about him because he doesn't have personality.
Was he too tall?
It was probably reminded them Paxton Lynch too much. The dorky, quiet, who knows what the heck's going on. But I mean, Herbert is insanely talented, and make that money where you can. I don't know the endorsement deal opportunities that he has. I mean, he is in LA, so he has to be getting some. But
yeah, he's in the right market to get those endorsement deals.
Yeah, it's just he's not.
Do you imagine the money if Burrow and Herbert switched places?
Oh my God, we'd be seeing Burrow on everything.
We already do, but it'd be way more.
You're right, but
they would probably change the name of the stadium, which they share, that the Chargers share with the Rams, to Burrowhead for real.
He'd have been in the Barbie movie.
How do you know he wasn't?
That is a great response. I don't know if he was. He could have.
Speaking of that, let's not let all the girls who watched Barbie, or even the guys, who was like, you know what? Ryan Gosling is a great Ken. But you know what also he was? Do you know who Ryan Gosling is? He was a complete and total liability cornerback.
Oh yeah,
for the Titans.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know where you're going with this. I don't want to be tied to this. I'm going to act like I'm frozen. Frozen. I'm not tied. I'm not tied to this at all.
Not at all. Here we go. Also, I wrote this down. It's kind of not as serious now, because it was on Wednesday. Bronny James had the cardiac arrest thing. And seems that he's okay now. He's been discharged. He's recovering. He's just kind of resting. But just that's scary.
Yeah. Kid's too young.
Way too young.
I don't understand it, so I'm not even going to pretend to. So,
okay.
But he's too young for that to be happening.
Yep. Also, I just want to throw this out here. Bad podcasting. I just see your banner and I have no idea what it is.
That's been all over my Twitter. You don't know?
What's Twitter?
Oh, X, whatever. It's still Twitter.
Dude, you don't like when my app updated. This is the perfect banner for this. When Twitter updated and everyone was calling it X, I was like, what is this? What is this? And then when it actually changed, now I kind of feel dirty going on Twitter or X, because it's like X.
No, it's still Twitter.
Yeah, but the logo is just X. I had a notification on my phone. This is how I found out that my app updated and it switched to X. A notification. There was a little X there at the top, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" I have one right now on my phone. I'm looking at it. I'm like, "What the hell is that X?" And then when I clicked on it, I thought it was one of those spam things. Sometimes when you Google something and then you get a Google alert for something similar later. I thought that's kind of what it was, and I was like, "What is this X?" I clicked on it and it opened up Twitter, and I was like, "What is going on?" It's stupid. I don't like it. I don't like change. I don't like change.
Dang it. So you don't know about that? Do you want to just go over that right now?
Let's talk about some spicy Sean. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
You really haven't heard what Sean Payton said?
Oh, yeah. See, you listing it as Spicy Sean made me think that he started an OnlyFans.
Oh, what side of X are you on?
That's what I said. Going on X makes me feel dirty. Makes me feel dirty.
Jesus.
Well, I wish I had the image for it. We'll play around with it. We'll get it. Yeah, he basically said that I can't even think of his name right now.
Nathaniel Hackett.
Stupid face. Sucked.
Yeah.
Or was extremely bad.
This is one of the
He also has retracted
highlight.
it.
It might have been one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL. That's how bad it was. And he didn't retract it.
He said he felt bad about it.
He felt bad about it. He said the quote was like, sometimes I get carried away. I thought I was acting like I had my Fox hat on from last year. I need to do better.
Yeah.
But
see, that's a terrible banner.
That was quick. It was quick, but it was
shots. Breaking news! You heard it here first. Sean Payton has started an OnlyFans. He takes pictures of his feet. There's a picture of the receipts from Bountygate on there too.
Did you see Billy Turner's tweet? Are you hearing about that? He basically called him a know nothing, taking shots, and then he used hashtag Bountygate. So he was basically talking back to Sean, because guess where Billy Turner's been the past 3 years? Went from the Packers to the Broncos to the Jets.
Sounds like he's just been following Hackett.
Yeah. But one of my favorite tweets from the Tansy Therapy. He's he does like chiropractic stuff and all that for some of the players, and sometimes I think but I find him hilarious on Broncos Twitter. But his tweet, nothing Sean Payton said was wrong. Necessary? Maybe not. Unwarranted? Yeah, a bit. Friendly? Hell no. But true? 100%. Sean Payton doesn't give a fuck about your feelings.
That's at least that sentence was that whole like at least $1 right there.
I don't care.
Oh, this just in, Joe has subscribed to Sean Payton's OnlyFans.
I may be an idiot, but you can speak for how I was last season.
Yeah.
And how upset I was.
You want to preview? Are the Broncos playing the Raiders or the Chargers?
Yes. That's
Give me the Broncos. Are the Broncos playing the Raiders or the Chargers?
No.
Give me the Chiefs. Give me not the Broncos.
That was a poor coach team. No hate. He's far better coach than I could ever be. Cool. But I heard they didn't have goal line practice. How do you not practice goal line packages? How do you not?
That's like the best time.
They didn't do it until like week 5.
For both sides of the, is that when they finally started scoring touchdowns?
They never scored touchdowns.
I mean, was that before or after the 9-12 or whatever, that 9-3, the Colts game? That massacre.
That'd have been around there.
That disgustingness. That was what, Monday Night Football.
Yeah, they also did not believe in 7-on-7s. Now tell me how in practice you don't do 7-on-7s. Linemen aren't doing anything. Just do 7-on-7s.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
That helps with everything. Route running, timing, everything.
Perfect. They didn't believe in 7-on-7s, and they didn't practice goal line packages until like week 5. I'm not saying
Worst coaching job. Worst coaching job ever.
I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm just saying he was in over his head. We
did 7-on-7 and goal line drills with the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders.
Yep, I understand. I understand.
He might be a better coach than you, but he's not a better coach than me.
I think he was in over his head. And the one thing that I learned from Sean, and I think last year, and I think I brought this up too when we were talking about it one time, is I think you need an alpha either at the quarterback or the head coach. And it was pretty blatantly obvious. The Broncos last year did not have one
at all.
Yeah. And yeah, I think Sean's stepping in because, like, if you think back, there has to be an alpha at one of those two in order to win the Super Bowl. There has to be.
Mm-hmm. That's why Brady and Belichick were so good. They were both.
Yeah. And
like I said for years when Romo was quarterback and they had Garrett, I was like, and there was like the talks of like Tomlin leaving the Steelers or John Harbaugh leaving the Niners at the time.
Yep.
Or no, Jim, not John. Or Bill Cowher coming out of retirement, or even Gruden before all his stuff. I was like, hell yeah, give it to me.
Yeah,
like give me that guy.
They are a-holes, and you need at least one of those. You need one, and I'm happy we finally have one. I don't know that it'll mean better product. I still see issues on the roster, but it at least is hopeful for the future.
Yep. Oh, I got you.
I like Sean. I will say it. I loved Robert Sala's statements back. I loved it. Nathaniel Hackett didn't speak. Whatever. Billy Turner, I don't care about. This was kind of whatever. Bum like. But Robert Sala's response was awesome. I enjoyed it. Spicy Sean.
Before we move on from football, we should at least, we kind of touched on it. The Burrow injury.
Yeah.
Ramsey got banged up. Some Cowboys players got banged up. It happens every year. We have some non-contact injuries that just it happens.
I'm going to knock on wood. I think the next 2 weeks are the most injury times of the year.
Do you remember what was it, 2015? 2014? Like where all of like everybody's number one receivers, like Jordy Nelson had an ACL. Everyone was just dropping like flies, and they were all non-contact, and it was just like they were talking turf, they were talking this, they were talking that. Like it happens every year. It's unfortunate. But hopefully everyone is good to go come season time. Sounds like Burrow's not going to play in the preseason, which he probably wasn't going to anyways.
Yeah. If he did, it was probably just a drive.
Or in the last game.
Second to last game. Third last game because they only do 3 now. So we talked about bad injuries like this. I got another one to bring up because I don't know. I haven't heard it anywhere other than Broncos stuff. Have you heard anything about Javonte?
I heard he was coming. He was getting ready.
He is not on the PUP list.
He's not?
No. He is full participant at practice.
Oh.
Now, the injury he has is a year to 18 months.
Yeah. Nearly 10 months after knee injury, he's ready to roll. I mean, we had Adrian Peterson, and I'm not no way comparing Javonte Williams to Adrian
but
Peterson.
That's the only thought I can have is like, is this guy a freak of nature?
If he comes out and does like close to 2,000, then sure.
But like, I was ready to have like Samaje for the first half of the year.
Yeah.
And then maybe work in Javonte after that. He's not on the PUP list at all.
How old was Peterson in 2012 when he
26 maybe?
Yeah, because Javonte's young too. He's only 23.
Because he was drafted 07, pick 5, I believe, and 21 coming out of college.
What college was that, Joe?
Boomer Sooner, baby. Horns down.
Which, by the way, Joe, I'm wearing a Boomer Sooner player.
Heck yeah. Roy. Gotta love it.
This was like my first Cowboys home jersey.
But I had to bring that up because it feels weird. Like so this is the same injury that J.K. Dobbins had.
J.K. Dobbins missed the whole season.
And Carson Wentz, right? And neither one has been the same since.
Well, Carson Wentz has also sprained both his ankles on the same play.
Yeah. But like J.K.
That's
Dobbins,
not funny, but
J.K. Dobbins came back for like what 2 games before he left again for like another 6.
yeah. So hopefully it's not the same.
Like
maybe the Broncos got something in their water.
I don't want him to rush it. I don't, because my brain goes back to TD. TD rushed things, and TD's career was cut short because of it.
Well, maybe. That's where the coach comes in handy.
Mm-hmm.
He looks to be ready. I'm looking at some notes. He looks to be ready. For how many games did he play last year?
5, 4, maybe.
Had to have been more than that. Oh, never mind. No, never mind. I looked at the wrong year. Sorry. Yeah, because I was just saying he had 200 carries, but that was the year before. So
I think it was only 3. It might have been the Niners game.
He had 47 carries, so that would probably be about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Ish.
I'm trying to think of who we were playing when it happened. I don't remember.
Yeah, but yeah, no. So I mean, it looks like well, 10 months is a long time. So
yeah, and he's apparently like doing cuts and everything on his leg. Looks like he's trusting it at camp. I don't know. It's weird to me.
Hey, when you work that rehab, maybe some of the people we don't know what JK did. Maybe he didn't do his rehab as good. Like all we know is when Peterson did his, he was back and he was fine. And then eventually he just got old.
Yeah. Also, speaking of JK, can we talk about his contract dispute?
Sure, let's talk about J.K. Dobbins' contract.
Well, I want to know, like, do you think he has a leg to stand on to ask for more money?
No, I don't.
How in the world is he asking for? I don't get it. It's wild to me, and I just wanted to say that it's wild.
The only thing that he has to ask for more money is that he's still under that age where running backs start to decline. But he's already had 2 injury seasons.
I mean, the only thing he can really say is that he's got the highest yards per carry average, or the second highest. I'm pretty sure.
And actually, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure. So he missed all of 2021. I'm pretty sure Gus Edwards, the other running back, has more rushing yards and more yards per carry.
I don't know about yards per carry because I think J.K. Dobbins is around 6. I think he's at 5'9".
Oh yeah, he is. But I think it's pretty close though. But yeah. either way, you can't. I don't think he has if he goes off this year, sure, play great, get that contract. But he has no leg to stand on in terms of like Saquon had something to stand on.
Mm-hmm.
I think Josh Jacobs has something to stand on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gus Edwards is at 5'2".
Yeah, so that's still a really great yards per carry average.
And he's also played. I think they were drafted the same year or a year after or something like that. Oh no, Gus has been in the league since 18. So, and he's played double the games, but that's also because JK he missed the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no. I don't even think that Gus has a leg to stand on, but he's been available.
Yeah, I think that's the most wild thing I've heard this offseason is that J.K. Dobbins wants to get paid more. And I was
he's only making what we would take to play. He's making 1 point something a year. Or at least that's what I just saw.
Yeah, but I said play anything. You can put me a punt returner. I'll take those punt returns. I'll have a person crashing into me at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I don't care for $1 million.
Joe will play center for the Cowboys on the last play of the game.
Done.
$1 million.
Done for $1 million. Done.
And done. I honestly hope Zeke signs somewhere so that's not the last play of his career.
Do you think so? I have a conspiracy. What was Zeke's contract? What was he supposed to get paid this year?
I'd have to look it up to get it because I kind of like put Zeke out of my mind since the.
Would he have been one of the top 5? I figure he would have been one of the top 5.
Yes.
Was he cut, do you think, to lower that franchise tag?
Ooh. Maybe.
That's like
he was
theory.
set to do 16.4 million this year.
Well, yeah, then he's well above it.
I think he's gonna end up back in Dallas wearing number 15. I honestly believe that. He's gonna do the vet minimum. I don't think he's gonna get a lot. He's gonna get the vet minimum and incentives. That's what he's gonna get.
I don't think he gets the vet min, but
maybe a little more.
Yeah, I think it'll be like 3.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I don't vet min. I don't think is. I think that's kind of a slap in the face to a guy that's carried your franchise for
7 years.
7 years. I think they'd offer him like 3. Like the Broncos last year paid Melvin like 4. I want to say.
Yeah, I just think they're gonna pay everybody else and then see what they have left.
Yeah. All right.
But also, did you see the footage? Like, did you pay attention to summer camp junk, summer training camp?
Some of it. Why?
Did you see the Deuce Vaughn footage on the Cowboys?
The video I sent you, I saw.
Yeah, but there was more than that one of him looking like a middle schooler. Now, I just got a question. Did that happen when it was Trendon Holiday? did that happen when it was Darren Sproles?
Yeah, it happened with Darren Sproles. It just didn't happen on TikTok because TikTok wasn't a thing.
I don't remember any of that. Like
I remember it on Twitter, back when Twitter was Twitter and not X.
Yeah, I'd say, what's Twitter, bro? You're living in the past. There is a number 15 on the Cowboys. It's Will Greer, but how many teams carry 3 quarterbacks?
I think you'll see more doing it now. That
actually, didn't they approve that you could carry 3?
Yeah, but it's also no longer 53; it's a 56.
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
I think you'll see more teams start carry 3.
How would you feel like you get drafted by a team? This is just a random. This is just because I see this, and you get your number or whatever, and then someone who's already established on the team also has the number. Like someone who you know is not going to get cut. I mean, you could have practice squad numbers, I guess.
I would not take it as a good sign. I'll say that.
Yeah. I'm looking at all the numbers on the Cowboys. I'm trying to find one that would make you mad.
But
do the Broncos have a number 0?
Yeah.
The Cowboys don't, so that means you're a Cowboys fan?
No. But back to the Deuce Vaughn thing.
Him being little?
Well, he's so little. I think he can get lost. I think he can get lost behind the line. I think he'd be good
beneficial.
To use. Yeah, I think he'd be good to use.
Like Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles was electric.
He doesn't look as fast as Darren Sproles was, though.
Well, I mean, the videos that they showed, they were doing half speed because they were just in helmets.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's probably as fast, if not faster, but the speed of the league has also ramped up. Like Darren Sproles was faster than the people he was going up against.
Yeah,
by I think a wider margin.
Because I'm pretty sure that he had permission to wear the 22. I feel like he should be the 22. Because he's Deuce. Mm-hmm. Or just number 2. The 2 would be ugly on a running back. Because I'm like with you in terms of like the old fashioned numbers. Like I want like your linebackers in a certain range and not single digits and all that stuff. But I'm also okay with it. Like Micah being number 11 doesn't bother me at all.
Micah doesn't bother me, but I think it's because he's a Swiss Army knife.
But does Trayvon Diggs as number 7 or Patrick Surtain as number 2? Does that bother you?
Diggs bothers me more. Patrick Surtain doesn't because it's Patrick Surtain
PS2.
second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the only reason that one doesn't bother me.
so Deuce Vaughn as number 2 wouldn't bother you.
I don't think it would.
No, I don't.
I don't think it would.
I just kind of wish he would have been like. I know it's hard to wear a 22 Cowboys jersey.
Oh, you can't do it.
But it was offered. I'm pretty sure he had permission. He just didn't do it.
Can't do it.
And I'm pretty sure there will always be an 88 on the Cowboys roster from here to the end of time.
That's fine.
Well, because it happened so many times. Did you actually hear Michael Irvin's interview about that? And then we can move on to some NBA talk.
Yeah,
which I know you'll get fired up on. Which this thing says Burrow injury, and we're talking about nothing related. We already talked about it. So Michael Irvin was asked about like if he minds people wearing 88. He said no, not at all. Because like when CeeDee Lamb does something cool, and he's like, oh, that's just like Michael Irvin. When Dez Bryant did something cool, oh, he maybe a little bit better than Irvin, but like Irvin started that. And then he said he was talking about like, so like it doesn't really like make people forget about me. It makes people bring me up more. So I live through all the other 88s, and it continues. Which his statement made sense because it's kind of true, but he wasn't the best Cowboy receiver, or even the first one to wear 88.
Yeah,
like Emmitt Smith is without a doubt the best running back the Cowboys have ever had.
Yeah,
like so to see someone wearing the 22 would be a little bit different as opposed to
well, is Emmitt Smith better than Herschel Walker? Because Herschel Walker brought you so much,
including Emmitt Smith.
Yes.
Yes, I do think Emmitt Smith better than Herschel Walker.
But Herschel Walker brought you so much.
Yeah, so did Emmitt.
Yeah, but Herschel Walker.
You know who brought us that? Like, first off, the trade itself, but Jimmy Johnson. He was the asshole coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tier. All right, let's make Joe mad. I know we had I sent you the tweet or the X. Is it still called tweeting or is it Xing? Because I hope it's still called tweeting because Xing is just terrible.
No, I'm not changing what I call it. It's Twitter and it is tweeting, and it is retweeting.
Re-Xing.
No.
Re-Xing.
You sent me a tweet?
No, I sent you an image of a tweet. I'll just put it on the screen for audio listeners. You gotta come to YouTube. So Paul Pierce was asked, or actually, I believe he wasn't asked. He might have been asked. I don't know. But he basically said he's better than Dwayne Wade all time. And the quote is on the screen. Let me take this off real quick. So put Shaq on my team, put LeBron and Bosh on my team. I'm not going to win a ring. He's talking about rings because Wade has more rings. Paul Pierce only has one. And I just want to start by saying, if you put prime Paul Pierce on that 06 Heat team, the Heat do not win the finals. I will die on that hill. I don't care if you fight for it. I will die on that hill. They would not win the finals.
They would not have won that finals, though. The year prior, did we have Shaq too, though?
I think Shaq was there for 2 or 3 years.
The year prior, you might get me.
Here, I'll pull it up for you real quick.
I don't know, because that probably would have been like Spurs, and they wouldn't get the Spurs.
Shaq was on the Heat from the 04-05 season to
Yeah.
the 07-08 season, so 4 years.
Yeah, so he would have been there the year before too. That would have been their best chance, but I feel like that was Spurs, and I don't think he would have won that. I think he would have won one at least with LeBron and Bosch.
But that wasn't Wade winning it. Well, it was, but it also wasn't.
But like Wade won two. Like he would win one, but Wade won two.
Now the question is, if we put Wade with KG, Rondo, and Ray Allen, does he win one?
Oh, he
yes.
wins two. Three maybe.
But he just has to win one.
Three maybe.
And if you just, I know this is not a good argument. I'm just going to throw that out there. If you were to blindly look at both stats and not watch them play, Wade has everything higher, except for no. I think it is everything higher.
I bet you Paul Pierce was a better 3-point shooter.
Oh, probably. But I mean, Wade's been to more All-Star games, more All-NBA, more All-Defensive, more championships. He also has more blocks, most blocks by a shooting guard ever, right? Probably more assists. Like, I just think Paul Pierce just wanted to talk, honestly. Like,
I think Paul Pierce is just mad that he was never the best player on a championship team.
You know, that just him saying the Shaq one, would he have won one with Bosch and Wade and LeBron? Probably. Yeah. He would not have won that 2006 finals. That 2006 finals, the Heat were down 0-2, and then Wade just went supersonic.
Yeah. Wade.
And
yeah.
Like the difference between Shaq with the Lakers is Shaq, you could argue, carried Kobe. Well, Shaq was Batman.
Well, the problem with the 06 series is Wade was playing the two, but Wade was the primary ball handler. And Paul is not a primary ball handler player. I think they would have struggled because it was an old Gary Payton. It was Jason Williams. It was James Posey. Like
an old morning.
They needed that young kid's athleticism. They needed that. And I don't think he's necessarily thinking of that. At that time, was Paul Pierce a better player than Wade? Yeah, I'll admit that. At that time, Paul Pierce was a better player. But he was not a better fit for that Heat team.
No, it's the same thing with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
If you swapped Jimmy Butler and Jason Tatum, did it like just to keep it Celtics Heat? Did the Heat make that run to the finals?
No. But Tatum's also a better player, so yeah. That is roughly the same.
That's what I'm saying. Like just to keep it in for context for the youngins, Wade averaged 35.7 or 8 assists and 4 rebounds a game in that 2006 NBA Finals, which is like
he also had an absolutely insane layup that I watched way too many times. It was awesome.
Yeah,
it was awesome. I love it. But Paul Pierce was like one of my favorite players growing up. I always say, like, if I wouldn't have fallen in love with the Heat, when I did, I'd be a Celtics fan.
Gross. Then we'd argue way more. Cubs, Cardinals, Heat, Celtics.
But like, I love their history. They always have players I really enjoy. Like, I think I'd be a Celtics fan if I wasn't a Heat fan.
Oh God. Sorry, I just looked up a 3-point percentage for Wade.
Yeah, it's not good.
What do you think it is? Ballpark it.
24.
It's higher.
28.
A little higher, but yeah. It's 29.3.
Yeah.
And Paul Pierce is close to 37%.
Yeah. Paul Pierce was a better shooter.
But literally, like everything else, points per game. Wait, is that turnovers per game?
Wade's got to be way higher.
Wait, no.
Wade was a primary ball handler.
No, I'm sorry, not turnovers. That's total rebounds. TRB, total rebounds. That's offensive and defensive rebounds.
Got to be.
Well, Pierce has that, but assists, steals, blocks, field goal percentage. So for what he lacked, because Wade was lethal from inside the arc.
Yeah.
But everything else is like Wade. I mean, they were both about the same. 77 free throw percent shoot for Wade, 80 for Pierce. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Wade clears. Just looking at stats, but then I think that I don't know. Like I said, I think the thing that triggers me about the 06 one is that like Paul Pierce wasn't doing that. Well, I don't know who else in the league at that time. Was LeBron even going to do that?
I think if you didn't watch and you were just okay, how do I phrase this? I think the way the game is today, people would say that Pierce is better, but we are in a modern NBA where people don't care about defense as much and people care about shooting more.
Yeah.
So I think people today, and I think that's why he said it, is because like the kids and the new heads would be like, yeah, of course, like he's a much better shooter. Cool. Cool. Wade, they pretty much stopped doing the like ball handling drill or whatever.
Yeah.
The passing and all that.
Yep.
Drill, because Wade was running it. He won like every time he ever entered it.
He's destined to be number 3 everything. 3 titles, number 3 shooting guard.
Yeah, Wade was a primary ball handler, and my screen just went dark, so you can't hear me.
I can hear you.
But Wade was primary ball handler. He didn't have much shooting. He really didn't, and I'm not ever going to deny that. But what he lacked in shooting, he more than made up for in defense. He was an outstanding defender.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the only reason he probably doesn't have like a defensive player of the year is because it only went to centers in that time.
Yeah. And
he struggled to stay healthy. Like, I love Wade, but he really did struggle to stay healthy. But that's also because he was attacking the rim every possession. He was a running back. Running backs get hurt.
You're not wrong. But yeah, so we just agree that the truth lied. That was bad. I should feel bad.
He probably needs to just go to shit his pants again.
Oh, maybe he did, and then his brain was all messed up and foggy from the smell.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just like, I'm better than Wade.
He's just trying to keep his name relevant. I understand it. It's fine.
No, I get it. I get it too. It's just for the show. But he probably actually believes it.
Him and James Harden are far more comparable.
Just wanted to throw this out there. I guess breaking news, baseball talk. The Cubs are beating.
Camera moved.
The Cubs are beating the Cardinals right now, 3-2. So here's what's at stake for how much. So if the Cubs win, they will be above 500. That's crazy. Right now they're 51-51. The Cardinals will be tied for last with the Pirates. If the Cubs win.
I hope you guys do. I want this season to go as bad as possible so they freaking get their heads out of their asses.
So you want the Pirates to go on like a 10-game winning streak to pass the Cardinals?
I want the Cardinals to have the worst record in the league.
Well, I don't think they're that far off. Now I'm looking at all the records to see. Oh no, the Royals are totally. Yeah, Royals and Athletics are terrible.
Yeah, they're awful.
They don't even have 30 wins.
Yeah, they're awful.
We're 100 games in. They don't have 30 wins.
Yeah, they're awful.
Holy, that's bad. That's
bad.
That's bad.
But I don't know. Hopefully, they finally realize they need to get pitching. Finally.
Yeah. Now we're talking. Now we're talking baseball.
But I don't know. I expect the Cardinals to trade a bunch of people.
Oh,
I've seen Jordan Hicks to the Yankees. I've seen Flaherty's possibilities being dealt. Montgomery, if he hasn't already.
I only thing I've seen that's been out there for trades have been White Sox and Dodgers.
I saw Shohei doesn't want to get traded.
Or at least he's not. Yeah, Lance Lynn went to the Dodgers, I think.
Great, the rich get richer.
Yeah.
This is why we need a salary cap in all sports.
And then Luis Giolito and then Reynaldo Lopez went to the Angels from the Sox. You asked me last week if the Cubs were sellers or buyers, and I really didn't know. I know there was swirls of Bellinger being traded. There was even talk about Hendricks getting traded. So they were potentially sellers, but now they're currently on a 5 or 6 game win streak right now. And
you've probably played the Cardinals for like 5 or 6 games then.
Well, they did have a series against the Cardinals, but yes, the last two, the first 2 games of the win streak were against the Cardinals. But I think because the Cubs have since the All-Star break, which was what, 2 weeks ago,
something like that.
The Cubs are scoring the most runs per game. They have the best on-base percentage in the league, not just National League. They were slugging percentage was the best. Their pitching has been decent all year long. So they're kind of rounding into form to where I think it's could they have been sellers? Yes. But I think maybe they might see if they can add another bat or another arm to see what they can get, because they're only I just had it up, but I got rid of it. They're 10 games back with 50 something to go, which is a lot, but
it's feasible.
They are not even that. They're 5.5 games back. So they're at 51 wins and the Brewers are at 57. So they're 5.5 games back. And they're currently they've won 8 out of the last 10. They're streaking, and they're actually streaking at the right time. This is about when you want them to streak after the All-Star break. Get a little bit of momentum and keep going like that.
I don't know. I want the Cardinals to sell everybody but Nolan.
Sell to the Cubs. But you can keep Contreras. Which, by the way, did you see that?
What?
Ian Happ hit Contreras in the back of the head on his backswing, and the Cardinals pitcher threw at Happ and got thrown out.
Yeah,
I think it was Suzuki. No, Suzuki. It was Happ that did it, but who was the pitcher? I said Suzuki because I just looked at a picture of Suzuki for the Cubs. I think it was yesterday's game.
Not a clue. Cardinals suck, dude.
Well, so let's go Cubs. Let's just buy. Go get a bat. I don't know who's available. I don't know pitchers.
I'll give you Wilson Contreras for a juice box.
We don't want him back. We don't want him back.
I'll give you.
All right, moving on.
I don't know.
We talked baseball, Joe. We talked baseball.
Yeah.
So we talked last week about teams who we thought would make the playoffs or best chances to make the playoffs who didn't make the playoffs. Now we're going to do the reverse. Most likely to miss the playoffs of the teams who made it. We're going to do this draft style, same like way we did last week. Since last week I had the first pick, you graciously gave it to me. Now I'm giving you the first pick, and this could be interesting. I'm curious to see what 8 teams we eliminate.
I don't remember. Did we do snake or not? I don't think we did.
We just did 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay. Cool.
So,
cool.
Joe, the floor is yours for your most likely team to miss the playoffs.
Well,
this one I feel like should be like a ranking and not like a Mount Rushmore like last week. Like this should be the team you legitimately feel is going to be the team that misses.
Well, that makes it tougher. But
does it?
It does, because my one pick is they're bad, but they play in a bad division. My one pick is Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I think their line got worse. They don't have quick throwing Tom Brady. They don't have Leonard Fournette in the backfield anymore. This team worries me. I think they could be really bad, but they also play in a really bad division, so they could sneak in. Who knows?
Yeah.
But if I were placing bets, they'd be one of the top teams that I'd pick to miss the playoffs this year that made it last year.
Was that your number one, no matter what?
I was debating between 3.
Okay. I can't disagree. That division's wide open. It could go to any of the 4 teams. Honestly, that's how weird that division is. And last year they won the division with a losing record.
Yep.
To show you, like, that. Thinking back on it, I said my number 1 pick was not NFC. That should have been unanimous number 1 because they had a losing record.
Yeah.
So no, I can't fault you. My first pick. Could you text Shaylee so she could see this?
Shay. Jimmy wants you to check out the YouTube for what he's about to say. She said just wait.
Okay, we'll wait. So Joe, how's the weather? Do you have something hard to put on? Because I don't know if she'll throw something at you. You're closer.
I'm a little concerned because I know what you're going to say now.
Oh, all right.
So James's pick to miss the playoffs that made it last year, I'm guessing.
Yeah, my pick of teams who made the playoffs to most likely miss it. My number 1 pick, the Miami Dolphins. It's not that I don't think they're talented. Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, they got a lot of weapons. They a lot of weapons. See, I'm waiting for a shoe to fly and hit Joe.
Why attack me? I picked the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Because you're closer.
Rude.
It's the one thing, the biggest question mark on the Miami Dolphins is the most important position on the team, and it's Tua. And I don't think Tua is a bad quarterback. It's his health I'm concerned for. That man is 1 concussion away from, I don't know, and their offensive line is not good. It wasn't good last year. Like, if Tua goes down, I like that. If Tua goes down, is Skylar Thompson going to win them the game? Could he win them a couple games? Sure.
Mike White, you don't have faith?
No. He was he was fun in New York, but it's just so Tua is even hurt. Tua is like up here compared to those guys. Like Tua was slinging it last year. He was throwing like 8 yards a carry or 8 yards a pass. It also helps when you have like the fastest receiving core.
Yeah.
But like he was getting it. Like we all made the jokes about Tua's arm. He wouldn't be able to do it, but he proved a lot of us wrong. He played fantastic. It's just those concussions, man. It's scary. I will knock on wood. If he plays healthy the whole season, then I think they'll make the playoffs. But like the Bills are good. The AFC is tough. Like the Jets, I'm expecting the Jets to do a little bit something else. The Patriots maybe.
Yeah.
Patriots are going to make something happen. The Patriots are going to steal a game from that they're not supposed to. Their defense is good. Belichick's the GOAT coach. Is he the best coach right now? No, but like there's just so many things that factor into it. Like, and I think other teams get better. The AFC is stacked. If the Dolphins are in the NFC, I don't even mention them. I don't even mention them. Like it's just
yeah.
I think they're one of those weakest teams in the AFC that made the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they are excited.
There's a reason they got the seed that they got. But if Tua is healthy, I think they are one of the top contenders. But that is, like you said, a question mark.
That line is trash, and it didn't get better.
No, they really didn't. And they hired an awful line coach. But I guess that means I can go with one of my next picks here. I'm gonna go with a team that
Dang it, I want to rain on your parade, so I hope you don't pick who I think you're gonna pick.
You want to rain on my parade?
Yeah.
I mean, there is a team that made the playoffs last year that I didn't understand how they made the playoffs. I don't understand how they won anything. It's solely coaching. I'm taking the New York Giants.
Yeah, I was writing it down.
Like they are not good. They're just not. How did they win? Their coach was the best coach in the league last year. That's the only reason I got. I don't know. They're so bad.
The New York Saquons.
How did they win that many games, but then the Broncos won that many?
When literally, I think Russell Wilson threw more touchdowns than Daniel Jones.
It makes no sense.
Agreed, but I just wanted to make that pick just for you.
They're so bad.
So for the audio listeners, we're talking about comments on the YouTube.
There's like Andrew Thomas is really good. Saquon Barkley is really good. Dexter Lawrence is really good.
Joe, did you just get engaged?
Maybe, I guess.
Congratulations.
But like, other than those three players, they don't have anybody that's really good. So I don't understand how they won so much.
I mean, yeah, like now they have Darren Waller, but they didn't have him last year.
But he's also not really good anymore.
No. He's fast.
Ish.
For tight ends.
Ish.
I mean, that's like the only thing Darren Waller had was speed and some decent route running.
I would take the Broncos' fourth wide receiver before I would take any wide receiver that plays for the Giants.
Who is the Broncos' fourth wide receiver?
Marvin Mims, the rookie, second-round pick.
I will take the Cowboys' fourth receiver before I take anyone on the Giants.
Exactly. It makes no sense.
Shout out Simi Fioco.
Yeah, I'd take him too.
He's got great hair.
He does. I'm jealous, especially.
He's got. Oh.
I'm jealous.
Would you take the fourth string Brock's receiver?
Yes.
Right.
I don't even know who they are, but yes.
Go Brock's. Their uniforms better be green.
Well, when I wrote that would have been probably like 03-ish, so I could probably figure it out. But you're up. Who do you got as your second team?
All right. So I know before I said let's pick in terms of most likely. Yeah. I want to have this pick. I want this team to be my pick. So I'm picking it now. Do I think it's most likely to happen on this list? No, I don't. I know I don't. I actually think they will make the playoffs. But I'm going to argue against it. Because you had your moment. Joe, you were the only one last year who picked this team to make the playoffs. And I thought it was a year too soon. And I was almost right. They needed a heck of a run to make it. And even a heck of a run to win that playoff game. The Jacksonville Jaguars. I think, again, AFC's tough. I know they won the AFC South. And I do think they will win it again. However, last year involved a Titan collapse, Colts collapse, and the Texans going to Texan. Doesn't flow as good as Chargers going to Charger. Week 10 last year, or week 11, the Titans were 7-3. The Jaguars were 3-7. Do you realize the probability of what happened that actually happened, where they literally just went on a losing streak, went on a winning streak, and then happened to make the playoffs? Like, I know it happened, and I believe in Trevor Lawrence. I do. I think the Jaguars will win the division, but I do want.
You want to claim this one?
I'm claiming this one. This is my hot take.
This team was not even on my list because
good.
You could have had them at any point.
Oh, that's fine. This is my hot take.
Reasons I disagree is, it took them a long time in order to go on that winning streak. But how many of those receiving targets did Trevor Lawrence have the year before? Christian Kirk was brand new. Evan Ingram was brand new.
Yeah, you're right. No,
Travis Etienne was back.
I agree.
They spent a ton of money that offseason on the offensive line. It finally became cohesive. Like, I live in Iowa. I could play sports bets. I might bet on the Jags to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I can't. Allegedly, if I bet, I wouldn't do that. I don't think that's a smart bet because the Chiefs still exist.
The Chiefs will be minus money or plus, like, very.
Oh, you just bet in the underdog for more money.
But the Jags, I think they're going to be really good this year. And you mentioned a team. Chargers going to charge you, baby.
I indirectly mentioned them. I don't think I ever actually said Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers going to charge you. I wanted at least one AFC team in here, and I have a lot more NFC teams. So I had.
That's the easier one.
I had to go with one here. So my main thing is they have like two $30 million wide receivers. Mm-hmm. Neither's great. Like, neither one. Justin Herbert is phenomenal, but I don't trust that offense. I don't.
It's tough. Yeah, no, it's
tough.
tough.
Austin Eckler has been putting up crazy year after crazy year, and he's not getting paid. I don't know. Like, Austin Eckler might be like shoulder hurts sitting out. If that happens, what offense do the Chargers have? They have nothing.
Gerald Everett. Arguably,
he had a good 3 weeks. He had a good 3 weeks.
Mike Williams is a solid 2.
He's a solid 2, getting paid $30 million a year.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Herbert.
Whoa.
I understand why she's saying that, but
Is it because he's the same draft class as Tua?
no, her dad has a huge man crush on him.
No. We literally had like a 10-minute talk about how he doesn't have a personality.
Yeah,
earlier.
he has literally no personality. He's quite boring. I saw a TikTok and it was a guy saying that he's pretty much guaranteeing Herbert to have a top 5 fantasy performance. And I commented on it because it had no likes, had no comments, and I was like, oh, I'll throw him a like and a comment. He's trying to do sports takes. Cool. I appreciate that. So I commented, I was like, I don't know. I think Herbert's extremely talented, but like, name me all the quarterbacks that have less than 300 rushing yards that score in the top 5. Like, it's one time Tom Brady did it recently. Like, yeah. Herbert did it once.
He's pretty good last year. He's not known for rushing,
but like 300 yards is not hard to get. It's just like, but Herbert was in the top 5 once, but it was also the year he hit 300 yards rushing. The only year. And it's just like,
he can do it again.
He can. I don't have faith in it.
I guess. Know what I would if Tua and Herbert swapped places, I would not have put the Dolphins on my list.
I don't think I'd have them on my list either way. Barring injuries. But God, if Tua was on the Chargers going to Charger would have even more meaning.
Chargers would be would be getting a new quarterback at the end of the year.
Yeah, but you're up. I guess I gotta type out.
Oh, I'm writing it down, but you can type it out if you want. So with my third pick, I picked 2 AFC teams. One I know is a hot take, which I didn't even really believe. I kept saying I think they're going to win the division, but this one's the easy one. They won the division last year. Could they repeat? Sure. They lost Dalvin Cook. They have Justin Jefferson and KJ Osborne, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. I mean, they have weapons, but like the run game, I don't know. They were one of those teams last year with Dalvin Cook where they were winning games, but they had a negative point differential. How does that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the Vikings. Like Chargers are gonna Charger, and the Vikings are gonna Viking. Like they wear purple because you'd be purple too if you choked for that long. Like it is what it is. It's. I love Kirk Cousins. I really do love Kirk Cousins. I loved him when he was in Washington. But it's you can rebuttal, but the only reason why I'm not really confident in this is because the NFC is so weak.
That is fair. The NFC is very weak, and I had them on my list. They were not like my next one, but they were on my list. Because I don't trust them with that negative point differential, like you were saying. Yeah, JJ's great, but Addison, their new rookie, he's small. Like he's
also this going like 120 miles an hour, 140 or something like that. Did you see that?
No.
He was doing some Henry Ruggs type stuff. He didn't kill anybody, but he was speeding really fast. Apparently, it was like his dog was at home sick or dying or something. I don't know.
He's real skinny, and I just worry about those real small guys every time. if they can withstand the battle test of the NFL. Like they were not my next team or the team after that, but they were my third pick.
They were your honorable mention.
Yeah. So they were my highest draft pick that you had. And also, I will say bad things about the Finns. They were also on my board. The only team that has not been on my board was the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Finns were on my board, but they were 7th, I think is what it was.
Well, then every team that's been said has been on my board. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, my board's better. I'm just kidding.
I did not have Jacksonville on my board. You got me there. You got me there with Jacksonville.
But I honestly, I didn't believe it either. But like, just thinking about how crazy the scenario was last year for them to make it. If it's that scenario again, if they do not start off fast, I don't think they can do the same thing again.
See, so I had the Chargers on there, and I think the Chargers miss is what would lead to like the Titans making it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think I could see the Titans making it as well. And I think my reasoning is not the Jags then miss, it's that the Chargers then miss.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair. I don't know if I envision a world with 2 AFC South teams though. I think I would see the Broncos make it.
I could see the Broncos. I could see 2 AFC East teams because the AFC East is now they are the quarterback division. They are like the worst quarterback in the division is Mac Jones. Like
who's never lost to Tua.
Yeah.
Just got to throw that out there.
Yeah.
We can't make Tua too happy.
Yeah. Like I could see 2 AFC East teams making it. I could see the Jets making it, of course. The AFC North, I think like I could see any of those teams making it as well. The Titans were just a team I threw in there for the Chargers missing it, but I could see a world because they were very close to firing their head coach. They were very close. So it could be a rough year for them. And the Vikings, man, how they won everything, I don't understand it. It don't make sense.
What makes more sense? The Giants making it at what were they, 9-8? Or the Vikings being the second seed at like what were they, 13-4 with a negative point differential?
Okay. What is crazier to me is the Giants because I would have like projected them to get like 4 wins. That's like 5 wins off, right? I expected the Vikings to make the playoffs. I expected them to get like 10 wins, so that's 3 wins off. Okay. Right? So the crazier one to me is the Giants. I expected them to be like one of the worst teams in the league.
I just think I can't get off of the negative point differential.
I can't either. Well, next for me is a team I had actually my 3rd on the board. They were my 3rd team on the board, and they lasted me all the way until my final round. Give me the Seattle Seahawks.
They were on my board.
I don't know that Geno is now just a good franchise quarterback. I don't know that the Seahawks know what they want to do at running back. They went and drafted another 2nd round running back. Their offensive line, good young line, which that can get you pretty far. I get that. But if Geno is back to old Geno, these guys are missing the playoffs. And they'll be sadly too good to get one of the top 2 quarterbacks because they do actually have a really good team around them. I don't have faith in Geno. That defense played well last year, but I mean, it's not an outstanding stacked defense either. I don't have a lot of faith in them to repeat. I could see it happening, absolutely, but I don't have faith in it.
Yeah, I don't think the Rams are going to be as bad. Also, the 49ers are really good, and their running back is really good, but we shouldn't say his name. We shouldn't talk about him. He's just a really good running back.
But I love talking about him. I love talking about the 49ers because they're the second coming of the 98 Broncos. Head coach Shanahan got a McCaffrey at the skill position. I love it.
Well, yeah, everything you said, it was Gino's first really good season. Like, we had a lot of fun with it. I did last year with he got an MVP vote and all that stuff. Like, I had a lot of fun with it. But like, realistically, no way. Like, will lightning strike twice? Maybe. I mean,
you could.
JSN is a good addition to what already was a deep receiver core with DK and Lockett. And he looked electric in some of the training camp videos. If you haven't seen him, you should.
Oh yeah, he's a really good route runner.
He's looking good. But like, it's just, whew. Yeah. I don't. That's. I think my last pick is very, very hot takey, like spicy,
like on my draft board, spicy.
Probably not.
Probably then.
Ooh, how spicy you going?
I had a.
Well, I'll tell you who I'm not picking. I'm not picking this.
Mm-hmm.
I am picking that division.
Oh.
But hear me out. Hear me out. My fourth pick, I think they're a very good football team. I'm trying to be spicier than Sean, okay? The Philadelphia Eagles. Now, hear me out. I talked about this last year with the Broncos. What's one thing that makes it tough for a team, no matter how good they are? Coaching changes. They lost both coordinators, offensive and defensive coordinators, to the Colts and to the Cardinals, respectively. Mm-hmm. They lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson, a very big part of their secondary, went to the Lions. They lost Hargrave to the Niners, which, if the rich get richer, Jesus. They lost T.J. Edwards because they're white. Miles Sanders. They lost a lot of key playmakers and replaced them with rookies, albeit from Georgia. I get that, and they got DeAndre Swift. I understand that, but DeAndre Swift has not played a full season his entire career. I love Swifty. He's also number 0, by the way.
They aren't. Hargraves is getting replaced by a last year rookie, and so is T.J. Edwards. They're not getting replaced by this year rookies. This year rookies are different.
Well, but they'll be on the team, so that's like it's. They had a rotation.
Yep.
Plus, some of their best players are like in that like mid-30s or older on the defensive line. They just signed 1-year deals to come back. I'm drawing a complete.
Hassan Reddick is not.
No, Hassan Reddick. No, he's not. He's young.
Yeah,
Reddick is young.
Fletcher Cox
and Graham, I believe.
Oh yeah, those guys are just emotional leaders. Those guys aren't the talents anymore.
No. Yeah, I know.
Those guys are the emotional leaders anymore. They're not the talents.
Yeah, I'm just saying they lost a lot, and to throw it all in there, I don't think they're going to win the NFC East. Because I mean, the last, just I'm going based off history. There hasn't been a repeat NFC East winner in the last 15 plus years, since 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and I honestly, did I say it last week? I did. I think the Commanders are going to be really good. I think they're going to do better than the Eagles. I don't know, but I think the Commanders have a chance to make the playoffs. I think the Eagles do too. But I don't know. We'll have to see, because when their defense was really good, right? Last year they had one of the easiest schedules in the league. This year they're going to have one of the hardest. And their worst games is when they played a top 10 quarterback and got lit up with points.
Yeah.
I don't think their offense can score 40 to keep up with it. I'm just saying. Like, even last year, the Eagles were so good. Dak missed 5 games and they lost the division by 2.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, it's possible. It's possible.
If you asked me right now to pick the division winner, I think I would pick the Cowboys because I think the Cowboys got better and the Eagles got worse.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're wilding by saying the Eagles are not making the play. There are 3 good teams in the NFC. 3.
No, I'm aware.
3. The Eagles are one of them.
Shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if the Cowboys missed the playoffs.
Like, there are 3 good teams. It is the Niners, the Eagles, the Cowboys. That's it. The rest of them, any of them, I don't know. Sure. You want to say the Bears? Cool. Fields goes off. Right on. I don't know.
No, I know. The NFC is weird, though. Like, legitimately, I believe you could legitimately make an argument for all 16 teams to somehow make the playoffs.
I legitimately think,
because you can literally just say anyone in the NFC South. That's one team.
I could argue 2 teams from every division in the AFC to be the best team in the NFC. I could argue it. I'm not saying I'd be right, but I could argue it.
Yeah. You'd probably be pretty close to right. You can't use the Chiefs. Can't use the Chiefs or the Bengals.
Titans are tough. Well, I said 2 teams. I said 2 teams in every division. Titans would be tough. I
think the Jags would be tough too.
I think I could make that argument. I think I could.
Better than the Niners?
Who's playing quarterback for him? Who?
Does it matter?
I don't know. Apparently it did because the Broncos beat their ass. That
was with
Jimmy G.
And he got hurt for that game, didn't he? And he threw that really ugly interception safety play. That was weird.
The Broncos beat their ass.
Yeah, with their defense.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
what's Jacksonville's defense compared to the Broncos?
Okay.
What was the final score of that game? 10-9?
Okay. But listen, Trevor Lawrence is way better than whatever they have at quarterback. Travis Etienne is far closer to CMC than whoever the 49ers quarterback is to Trevor Lawrence. Far closer. And I think Calvin Ridley is the best wide receiver on that field. Calvin Ridley. I think Christian Kirk is the 3rd best wide receiver on that field.
But are they going to score? How's their offensive line compared to the Niners' defensive line?
Their offensive line, they got completely overhauled. It is actually a really good offensive line.
On paper.
No, like the year before. The Jags' offensive line was really good last year.
Oh.
They have Brandon Scherf. They have Brandon Scherf now, too.
Yeah.
He's their right guard.
Like 2 years ago or something like that. But yeah, I know.
Like, their left tackle played phenomenally. Like,
but how would they do against the Niners? Like, I don't know if I would take them.
I don't know, but I'm saying it could
you can
be
make that
argued.
Yeah.
Like, the NFC's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna take one of those 3 out. Would be my thing.
No. Had to throw in the spicy take. I almost said the Cowboys. That would have really thrown me for a loop.
You want to know my spicy one that was on my list?
Sure. You want to throw in your honorable mention?
Not really, but sure.
Is it the Chiefs?
No.
Oh.
The AFC North is pretty tough. And Joe Burrow's out for several weeks.
That's not really spicy anymore, though. That would have been spicy if we did this on Wednesday.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been a take on Wednesday because Joe Burrow wasn't out for several weeks. But that AFC North is tough. I could see it.
show you don't like my list.
I never said that I don't like your list. You got very creative with it.
That was the one thing I said about the Broncos last year, and it turned out I was right. Like, yeah, they kept the head coach, but I mean the Eagles in this case, they kept the head coach, but you lose your OC, you lose your DC, it changes a little bit.
I mean, they hired like people underneath them to.
Yeah, but look at what happened with Belichick. Belichick, when Matt Patricia went to the Lions.
Yeah,
Matt Patricia was a terrible head coach, but the Patriots' defense went to shit.
Yeah,
but Matt Patricia comes back, their defense is good. Same thing with Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels leaves to go be a head coach. He's garbage. He's not a good head coach, but as an OC,
Shanahan loses people all the time.
But Shanahan's not Nick Sirianni.
I know, but like you
There's
can
a
point
big difference.
But you can point to people that are like one example. I could point to ones that are the other example.
Well, yeah, you're like Shanahan, one of the greatest minds ever, and then to Nick Sirianni, who's had the one good season, which Dayball season was better.
Pete Carroll's lost people all the time too.
Pete Carroll's a good coach.
Yeah, we don't know about Sirianni.
That's why I'm saying it's a chance.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
There's a chance.
There is a chance. That's all I'm saying.
But I think it's wild when the NFC is that weak. Like, I think that's the wild part. Is like the NFC's weak.
I don't have this name for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure last year I got roasted for not making any hot takes.
Yeah, the NFC is weak as hell.
It is very weak, but that's do I think it will happen? Probably not. I do not think they will win the East. That will actually shock me. And I'm not even saying Dallas will win it. I will be shocked if the Eagles win
it. I would be shocked if it's not one of those two winning it.
I don't know. The Giants are confusing.
The Giants overpaid Danny Dimes, and they're going to be bad next year, and then it's going to be awful, and I'm going to feel awful because I saw it coming, and everybody basically saw it coming, except they still paid Danny Dimes $40 million a year.
You're not wrong, but I honestly because the NFC is so weak, I can envision a world where the entire NFC East makes it. Because I mean, we got 3 last year. Who's to say the Commanders can't replace one of those other teams? Like, what's more likely, an entire division in the AFC or an entire division in the NFC?
If you were to ask me right now, what's more likely, the Seahawks or the Commanders? I would say the Seahawks, but not by much.
There you go.
The only reason I'm giving it to the Seahawks is Pete Carroll.
That's fair. I mean, Riverboat Ron is a good coach, and then Eric Bieniemy. We get to see him not with Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. And we get to see him. Well, see, here's the thing: Sam Howell was touted as the number 1 overall pick prior to his final year at college. He's extremely accurate. He's pretty darn good, and he had a good 1-spot start.
Man, it was okay.
No, think about the words that I said. Good spot start. It was good for a spot start.
That's fair.
I'm interested to see what Bieniemy does with Terry. That's what I'm interested to see.
All of them, really. They have a lot of Samuel and Dotson.
Yeah, but I think Terry has been misused horribly, and I'm excited to see if Bieniemy can do something right with him.
Yeah, maybe he can get open against Diggs. Probably not.
The enemy.
She's just hating. Haters gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake. Let's shake it out. Let's shake it out. Oh, I'm gonna hold you.
You didn't think I'd do it, did you?
No, I knew you would. I know I won't do it because my significant other is not awake. I'm also living above.
I didn't hear you laughing. Oh, but I see Joseph typed in the chat.
All right, I think we've reached the point, where
cheers.
I got water. You know what time it is.
Pasta.